Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. So today's video, we're going to talk about 5 things to track in 2021. Now, I spoke about some of it in my live stream last night, but I'm going to do a, quicker, shorter video about the things we should be looking out for next year. Now, let's start out with the obvious, the new strain that came from the UK here. I'm really skeptical about that one, only because it just seems like the UK started pushing back. United States, we're starting to push back, and they said, how do we get these people under control? I got it, new variant. Now, the good thing about the new variant that I'm hearing is that it's not deadly, or deadlier, if you will, sorry, but it is more contagious. So you can definitely get it, according to them, you can definitely get it just breathing on somebody, apparently. Now, that being said, the UK was protesting and pushing back, and then this new variant popped up. United States, the restaurant owners and business owners are pushing back, and now it's here in less than a week, right? So it was found in the UK about 2 weeks ago. A week after that, Fauci said it's already here. And then a week after that, it was here in Colorado from a guy who didn't travel anywhere. So how did he get it? Now, I'm not going to dispute whether it being real or not. I'm just disputing the timetable. That's all. The more curious thing about this is, if this guy was tested for it, how did they know to test him? Because if it's not deadlier and there's no new symptoms, how did they wind up testing these people in the UK and Colorado for a new variant? You have to do an actual blood test to find out the new variant, not a nose swab. So that's a little bit weird, but nonetheless, it's here. And if it is as contagious as they're saying it is, then we should take precautions until we find out more about it. So let's not be ignorant and say, fuck it, it's fake. Let's just treat it like it's real. And if it winds up being fake, then we go, then it's business as usual, right? But if it's not fake and it is more contagious and it is affecting people more severely, then we should take precautions as needed. Other than that, if it winds up being a fake, guys, fuck them. So it's just something that I'm putting on the radar for people to watch, because if this is more contagious, then we should be watching it a lot closely. If it is more severe in illness, we should be watching it a lot closely, because we don't want to be infected and then we're out of commission for a couple days. Nobody wants to be out of commission for a couple days, guys. Nobody wants the flu and nobody wants COVID. That's a fact, right? We all sit there and say, you know, oh man, this is bullshit, the social distancing, this, that, and the third. It is bullshit. But if this new variant is worse in the way we react to it, then we should absolutely be a little smarter and take some precautions like the social distancing, the mask wearing, things like that. And as far as mask wearing goes, you're probably going to need an N95 for this one. So the next thing we're going to track is the New York State Assembly Bill 416. I just ported it over to PDF, so I'm going to put it on last night's live stream, and I'm putting it in the description section below. You guys need to read this. The way it's panning out in the bill, it's panning out as something from Songbird. If you are contagious or you come in contact with somebody or you are a carrier, they're looking to relocate you to a medical facility or a proper facility deemed proper by the governor, if you will, and you'll be relocated there until you are no longer symptomatic or carrying the virus. Now, it's not pertaining to COVID. It keeps saying communicable diseases or contagious diseases, whatever that is. This bill was pushed yesterday or 2 days ago, but it's set for January 6th of 2021. So it was released early, if you will, so that I guess people could take a look at it, and then the procedures take place January 6th moving forward. So there's a lot going down January 6th, guys, and it's just a little on the nose that this bill became available on the same day. Now, they keep using the word the department. As of right now, there's no department responsible for detaining you or putting you away or whatever it is that they're deciding they're going to do with you. There's no department available to do that. So they're probably going to establish a new department, if you will, a new group of guys, new group of women that are going to put people away who are deemed dangerous to society or health hazard to society, if you will. Again, guys, I'm going to put the PDF in the description section below. The next thing you need to look out for is the food crisis. Now, I said in my last video, or a couple videos ago, that the food crisis wasn't here yet, that we have time to prep. We still have time to prep, guys, but keep prepping. The food crisis is going to be something, nothing short of a nightmare come next year for a lot of people. And some of us won't feel it, and some of us will. You got to keep that in mind, guys. Not everybody's going to experience the food crisis the same way. It took me a couple weeks to figure that out. Because here in New York City, it's fine, it's good. We got food on the shelves, prices are going up. That's another problem that we're gonna start seeing. Prices are going up, but we also have plenty of food here. But there are other states that are reporting that they're seeing less on their shelves. But not that they're not seeing anything. When you stop seeing shit for a week or two at a time, then there's a problem. So as of right now, we're good, but that is going to be something to track and keep in mind of in 2021. So the other problem that they are starting to see right now that the food banks here in New York City keep talking about is there are more people online and there's less food to give away. Those two combinations are disastrous. They're receiving less food, the food banks are receiving less food, and there are more people showing up online because they're losing their jobs. This next variant could very well put NYC in a new lockdown. Now, California, the California governor is already talking about a new lockdown because of this new variant. One guy tested positive, but I know how it works, guys. If one guy has it and it's very contagious, that means more people have it. That makes logical sense, right? That makes a lot of sense. So, with that being said, the next lockdowns are going to put more strain on the food banks because more people are going to show up because more people are undoubtedly going to lose their jobs. So the food crisis is something you need to track, and you need to keep putting food away in case you're one of those people that lose their jobs. The stock market. The stock market is something we need to be watching carefully. Again, guys, with another lockdown coming, whether it's next month or 2 months from now, with another lockdown coming, it's going to decimate America's financial system if another lockdown comes down. With us continuing to print money for these relief packages and no talk about payment in sight, the value of the dollar keeps dropping. Again, with businesses going out and no one's spending because you can't, because there's nowhere for you to go, businesses are shutting down, so they're crumbling, they're collapsing, there's no jobs, more people out of work, the financial system is going to take a toll. How many more people can we keep sending stimulus checks to? How much more relief can we keep sending out? The stock market is something that you're going to need to start watching closely and start understanding. I'm still trying to understand it because it's going to be something that's going to affect us all. Whether you lose your job or not, the stock market is going to affect you. So keep track of that. The next thing we are going to start seeing, but probably not right away, probably later in the year, is something called the new segregation. The new segregation is going to be people who are going to be outed for not taking the vaccine. People who don't wear a mask. People who don't think COVID is real. This is going to start a new segregation amongst those who believe it's real, who believe the vaccine is the lifesaver, and who wear a mask. We are already seeing it in small doses here and there. People who don't wear a mask are getting screamed on, yelled at, kicked out of stores. People who don't take the vaccine are soon going to experience that as well. But we're not going to start seeing that to the end of the year because the public, as of right now, is not taking the COVID vaccine. Healthcare workers and first responders are. I'm not taking it. So now, whatever consequences comes from that, I'll see. But as of right now, I'm not taking the vaccine. Not as of right now, I'm never taking a vaccine. Unless they're holding me down and sticking this shit in me, I'm not taking the vaccine. But there are people who think our social freedoms should be taken away for not taking the vaccine. You had a doctor who said, and I put the doctor's name now, he said that those who don't take the vaccine should suffer the consequences of social freedoms. I'm paraphrasing. But this is what he pretty much said, and I'll link the article to where he says this. He says that we shouldn't be enjoying our life if we don't take the vaccine, because we didn't want the vaccine, and fuck us. Spain is starting something similar, except for they're not doing anything other than they're writing a list down of people who are not taking the vaccine or who are refusing to take the vaccine. This is starting in Spain. This is undoubtedly going to happen here. If you don't take the vaccine, they'll just write your name down and keep you in mind. And what Spain is doing, they're going to send it to the EU so that you can't travel anywhere outside of Spain, right? So they're already starting with their bullshit. Guys, the survival rate for COVID as of right now, and even with this this new variant, is still 99.98%. So it's a 0.02% chance of you dying from it. The falsehood of people dying from COVID has been exposed. It has been proven. A guy dying on a motorcycle accident, a kid getting shot, are all coming down with COVID, and that's what they're dying from. Because Dr. Bird said, if you die with COVID in the body, you die from COVID. So if I trip and fall and hit my head right now, and I have COVID or COVID in my body, I died from COVID. But meanwhile, you guys on video watch me trip and fall and hit my head and die, but they're going to be like, well, he had COVID. That could have been the reason why he misstepped. We have to keep in mind that the numbers of COVID deaths right now, a lot of it is false. But that's still not going to change the fact that the media is going to start segregating us and start saying, well, people who don't take the vaccine are irresponsible and should be held accountable for the spread of COVID. That's them segregating us and calling us anti-vaxxers and free riders, right? So free riders is a term where they're saying that we are free riding off the backs of those who took the vaccine. You're going to start seeing that term pop up more and more. That's going to segregate us more and more. Calling us anti-vaxxers because we don't want to take one vaccine, that's another way of segregating people, guys. It's just like the segregation of blacks and whites, except for non-vaxxers and vaxxers. Guys, keep that in mind. That's something that we should be tracking, but again, it'll happen later in the year. Let's try to take each situation as it happens. That's all we can do, right? And be aware of what might be happening. That's it. Other than that, guys, this is the Angryprepper. Thank you for watching. You can like and subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. And other than that, guys, thank you for watching.